and welcome back to Mexico News Network's Breaking News. Remember, we're shooting and broadcasting from the beautiful El Dorado Royal Spa Resort by Carisma in the heart of Riviera Maya. Now, don't forget to stay informed 24/7 on News on Mexico by logging onto our website on www.mexiconewsnetwork.com, and also follow us on social networks on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Google+. You'll find us as Mexico News Network. Now let's continue with more information. A surprising number of small companies around the world are vying to be the first to bring flying cars to customers, and many of them are predicted that 2017 will be a turning point for the entire industry. Terrafugia Aeromóvil, Mahler International, and PAL-V are just a few of the companies that are planning to produce, sell, and deliver their vehicles within the next few years. These firms all have high hopes for the future, but various major roadblocks could keep them from reaching their near-term goals. As it stands, the regulators are the main reason flying cars are kept off the roads and out of the skies. The vehicles have to pass numerous tests to provide that they are road ready and fit to fly. Getting all the necessary aviation, road, and transportation certifications can take ages. Building something that works is different than building something that is allowed, said Robert Dingemase, CEO of PAL-V, who said that his gyrocopter-style vehicle meets all the necessary road and air regulations in Europe as well as the US. While these regulations may seem like a hindrance of the casual observer, they are designed to keep everyone safe in the air and on the ground. Aside from regulatory and safety concerns, a lack of funding can also seriously hamper progress or stop it altogether. Aeromóvil recently accepted a $2.8 million investment from a venture capital firm after being financed entirely by its CEO and co-founder, Juraj Vakulík. Executives at the firm expect to sign up further investors in the immediate future, despite the recent crash. Paul Mahler, the founder of Mahler International, said that he has spent roughly $200 million since the 1970s developing his flying vehicles. He expects that he could always find more money. Another obvious challenge is finding customers. However, flying car entrepreneurs seem unfazed, with some saying that they will target the military and law enforcement agencies, while others say that they are aiming for rich individuals and business owners. However, anyone looking to buy a flying car has to realize that it won't be like the Jetsons show, where drivers zip around like whenever they like. Many of these flying planes will need runways for takeoff, of course. Moving along to more information, Google's cute, fully autonomous cars are hitting the road this summer. If you're in Mountain View, California, you will be among the first to see them pass by. Google says it's now ready to test drive the prototype vehicles after extensive testing on closed tracks, according to Chris Urmson, director of Google's self-driving car project. In a blog post published on Friday, Mr. Urmson says that the cars will move at speeds no faster than 25 miles per hour. A human test driver will also supervise each and every ride, taking over control if needed. Google's self-driving cars are designed to work without permanent mechanisms such as gas or pedal or even a steering wheel. To comply with California state law, however, the cars have removable steering wheels and gas, as well as accelerator pedals, which human drivers will use if they take control. When the tech company first started experimenting with self-driving technology, it in fact modified existing cars such as a Toyota, Audi, and Lexus by adding multiple cameras or sensors and an onboard computer. These new prototype cars are manufactured by Google from scratch. However, they are very much equipped with the same software that was used in its previous cars. Google revealed that the Lexus fleet has driven nearly 1 million miles on the road and suffered 11 accidents ever since testing began over 6 years ago. None of the accidents were caused by Google's cars, according to Google, and none of the incidents caused further injuries. Google is just one of many companies developing driverless car technology. Universities and major auto manufacturers such as BMW as well as Mercedes-Benz are working on very similar vehicles and projects. Google hopes to have its version on the road by the end of the decade though. However, before self-driving cars can start driving us, companies need to figure out ethical issues, improve basic driving functions, and also work with governments on legislation to allow driverless cars on all and every road. Mr. Urmson said that they are looking forward to learning how the community perceives as well as interacts with these vehicles and to uncover challenges that are unique to a fully self-driving vehicle. In the coming years, they would like to run a small pilot program with their prototypes to learn what people would like to do with vehicles like the Swords. And in other news, the Solar Impulse 2, the experimental plane attempting to fly around the world without using a drop of fuel, has been grounded by the weather in China. What was supposed to be an overnight pit stop in the southwestern city of Chongqing has now stretched into a 2.5-week stay. It is an unexpected layover that is testing the patience of the pilots and more than 60 team members, just a quarter of the way along a journey that will cover some 35,000 kilometers over 5 months. You can believe that your will can influence the weather, says pilot Bertrand Piccard, who comes from a long family line of explorers. However, then you'll be really disappointed because it doesn't work as such. Piccard, along with André Borschberg, a Swiss engineer, are taking turns flying the single-seater aircraft, which took off from Abu Dhabi on March 9 and has successfully flown through Oman, India, and Myanmar. There is so much at stake here. Their mission, with the pilot says, is aimed at proving that the power of renewable energy and inspiring innovation has been 12 years in the making. In many ways, it has become Piccard and Borschberg's raison d'etre. However, so far, the Solar Impulse 2 has been spending a lot of time on the ground. The latest setback came when a Thursday takeoff was cancelled because the crosswinds in Nanjing, the plane's destination, were forecast to be too strong around its expected landing time. Because of its weight at just 2,300 kilograms, which is about the same as a large SUV, the aircraft needs near-perfect weather conditions, including crosswinds of less than 4 knots or about 7 kilometers an hour in order to fly. Durnas says that there may be a tiny window ahead with the next possible departure from Chongqing on Tuesday. It is not good before, and the days after don't look very clear though. Even with the delay, Durnas says that the plane technically isn't behind schedule. With more than 17,000 solar cells along the tops of its wings and fuselage, the Solar Impulse 2 stores up energy during the day in order to power the motors that carry it through the night, typically at speeds no faster than a car on a highway. Moving along to more information, a patch of gold, just a few centimeters wide and light as a feather, could reveal your innermost thoughts and feelings. This is the premise of Professor John Rogers' BioStamp. By attaching flexible miniature sensors to the user's temple, he has been able to track brain waves in real time and transmits them as messages. The prototypes can provide a variety of monitoring and stimulation functions, says material scientist Rogers of the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. They can pick up coordinated firing of neurons and run that activity through a computer spelling interface so that brainwaves pick letters out of a virtual keyboard display and then type messages. Previously, such signals could only be detected by using a full helmet of heavy electrodes, which required the patient's skin to be very well scrubbed and therefore could only be worn safely for a very short time. Rogers' patch is light enough to be almost imperceptible, allowing for lengthy use even outside of the lab, so that the equipment is trained to pick up signals more accurately. The no-strings approach also eliminates background noise that obscures signal and creates positional uncertainty. For even greater accuracy, the Illinois team are using increasingly high-density electrodes that generate thousands of times more brain activity information. The immediate targets are two groundbreaking medical applications. One is to measure the brain waves associated with seizure in epileptic patients, flagging up issues before the point of crisis. The other one is to monitor sleep patterns for disorders and other insights which had been impossible with the traditional heavy hardware. The brain is just the latest and most ambitious target. Ever since Rogers invented the biostamp to great fanfare in 2011, it has been used all over the body to measure heartbeat, temperature, and other vital signs. They have been adapted by Reebok to monitor the force of impact in sport by L'Oreal to track skin dehydration, and the US military to monitor the condition of soldiers. Now stay with us, we will be right back with more information after these few messages.
Audio Jungle.